Sup? Let's see how many Teams messages we get today, boys. Okay, cool. So, just doing P2 quickly so that we have something in advance of tonight. This will cover the second intermission too, but there isn't really anything to the second intermission, so it's going to be a big meme. Hopefully it's quick. So, let's try and make it quick. So, as long as we do the full delay on the first intermission, we're going to end up on blue and red markers, blue team on blue, red on red. The reasons for delaying the intermission are indeed delaying for cooldowns, but also to delay the final enrage, basically. You can like push back the final set, how the final set of mechanics overlap with the enrage and make them not if you do the full first intermission. So we do need to make sure that we're starting to do that. And we will. We've ended on these marks. The raid plan says that blue should like shift over to green to sort of pre-braid the frontal. This is probably a bit much. What will probably happen when we've ended soaking, I don't know if the people can plan up, is that we've ended slightly right of the blue mark anyway. It can just bait there and shift left and then do a readjust right before the first pull as we need. Same shit as always, do a loose pre-spread so orbs aren't stacked up on each other and we're all good. Now, we've actually had a chance to really plan this mechanic. We've already seen how it works on Monday, so this is really sick. So as you know, we don't know which group will get pulled in first, it's random every pull. The first group, they need to remember who's been assigned left and right on the little sheet, and move left and right once they've been pulled in, so that the second group, when they get pulled in, can just move straight through the boss and soak the orbs. You drop orbs from where you're pulled, so that you do need to be pre-spreading. There's also no real rush on any of these that I can remember off the top of my head, but certainly not through P2, of like, holy shit, soak the orbs. Your priority is like, if you're a left-right group, you split left and right quick. You need to get the fuck out of the way, and then get out the purple ring that she's casting here, and then just loop back, clean up the orbs, and get back to your position. If you're the middle group, it's get through quick and get out the purple thing quick, then you can break your webs and loop back in and soak these orbs. Again, it's like 20 seconds. We're going to be so far on orbs, so don't worry too much. Do check that you are going left and right. We do want you to be doing these 90 degrees, and I think it might be useful for me to put these markers down just so people don't get lost, the green and skull marks. Do just hold to it quick and get the fuck out. Ooh, what's that? Let's go. But otherwise, a lot of this shit is just reps, honestly. It does seem like people understand it quite well. Moving into the next, we get the first set of dispels. So this is also a thing we've already had a look at. I can explain a little bit more now. So Liquid does indeed prioritize blue melee, then blue range, then blue melee, then then red melee teams, then red ranged. The reason it does that is because of a mechanic set in P3 where basically blue are much better placed. They're not doing something else, so they're much better placed to clear the dispels early, so red come in late. And if you just have the same priority through the whole fight, it means people can just get used to it. So we've soaked up the orbs, we've broken our webs, and we're back in our like typical positions, but sort of reversed obviously because we've been pulled. As talked about on Monday, when the dispels go out, you'll want a clear warning that you have these dispels so that you can see that this is a mechanic you have to worry about. Generally speaking, the melee boss is going to be in cleave range, but the groups do need to stay split, and under the boss at all is just a complete no-no zone. Under the ranged boss in the middle is a complete no-no square, like you're shit if you're in there. Check the dispel order immediately. If you are first, you need to just get under there, because Panda's going to be calling. We'll probably ask him to call the healer as well, so it'd be something like Long Tusk by Bish, 2, 1, go, and then I don't know, fucking Tattle by Panda, by me, 2, 1, go. You guys need to do like Vamos and make sure this is done. The quicker we get this done, the easier it is to control delaying the debuff the damage amp debuff that she's giving herself with every dispel. It's 20% per dispel, and then 100% once they all pop. We get to like spread that out if we have control over how we're doing these dispels. So we need you guys to be reliable about how you do it. And obviously, as you know, the lust is happening now here as well. So the first pull we get, you know, a good majority of the group into this lust, it's going to feel fucking pog. The dispel spot itself, just last thing I think I forgot, is just dead under the middle of the boss. Just go as far under the boss model as you can to minimize the risk it jumps anywhere else. It's not a wipe if we do get a dispel on someone else, so don't panic if that goes wrong. Just let Panda keep calling it. The only as long as we do stay controlled and get the cast stunned, the only problem with having the dispel jump at all is just that we lose a bit of debuff uptime and control over the boss. So yeah, cool. She's been stunned. Blah blah blah. We're cleaving. We're pumping. Lust. We go to our markers. These will be consistent boss positions, right? So we can go back to our inverse markers. This guy says that oh no, that's a different part of the plan anyway. We go back to our inverse markers just to get ready for the next set of mechanics, which are 2 sets of frontals, which we bait onto our inverted color markers, and then both teams shift left so they stay at the opposite side of the boss. Quite a simple thing, but the reason for that is this, which is the first kind of headfuck thing I think that we have to prog now, or that remains to be progged. This image is really overcomplicated, I think, but I apologise. But really simple once you sort of see it a few times. Basically, Skyne, the ranged boss, is going to teleport somewhere in the room. What this image is trying to communicate is just best practice for where the red team, who quickly have to move, should run relative to her to set blue team up for success. So the way it's going to work is she's going to teleport and she's going to very quickly cast Web Vortex. Red need to Vamos immediately towards her, and they need to pick a side of her that is closest to them, basically. So if she's teleported to position 2, they're going to run to the right of the boss, and this will be called like red run right, to the right of the boss to get there quickly, so that blue, who follow after a frontal, can swing out left. You do want to be lefting. It's not like straight towards the boss, it's swinging out left and towards the boss, sort of diagonally, because we'll get pulled midway through our run. And this is the reason red need to go quick and pick a position quick, so that there's just clarity as to which side the other team are going, so we don't have any collisions. This will mostly be vibes on each pull. You can see how this is definitely the correct structure, right? The way it is here, but these aren't. It's not as if she teleports consistently to one of these 4. It can be like up here or whatever, where red could arguably run either left or right. Right? It could be down here. We just need to call it and listen out for calls, and then red's movement is kind of easy as long as you're doing it quick. Blue, we just need to make sure we're sort of diagonaling out on the opposite side of the boss so that we can then get pulled in. We also want to be as quick as we can once we've called our movement, so the orbs aren't absolutely miles away, right? So there aren't still some orbs in the middle of the room when we get pulled. In terms of how the pull works, it's the exact same shit. The first team that got pulled will go left, right. The second team will just push straight through the middle. Again, orbs are 20 seconds. Some orbs are going to be quite far. Like supposing it's position 2 again. Like blue might have left some orbs all the way out here that red will need to come to. Similarly, there are certain configurations of this mechanic where it's really grim that blue get pulled first, for example. Just, follow the movement and prioritize living. You're not worried about uptime during this mechanic or during this series of dodges. So just make sure the movement is good. You have 20 seconds to get any orbs that have been left, so there's really not much reason to stress. Alright, we're nearly at the end. So, at the end, it's basically just the dispel thing again. So we both have sort of our sides of the boss that have been predetermined by which side we've ended up soaking the orbs. When she teleports in, we into the middle as this dispel thing is happening. So the way this is going to work is both teams judiciously stick to their sides of the boss, and they stay the fuck away from under the ranged one again. 2 dispels will happen before she teleports, and these need to be done quick. So it'll generally be blue team again. They need to make sure they get all the way under the boss model, minimizing the chance it jumps, and get dispelled as quick as they can. And the 3rd dispel in this set, whoever they may be, needs to pre-move and just wait in the middle of the room for her to teleport on top of them, so that we can do that dispel immediately. And then once she teleports, the other groups will follow. That's kind of it, you know. A lot of the stuff that this plan says and whatever, I think, are rules that we have already been practicing, right, and rules that you have already learned. So a lot of this should be very easy with just reps to make sure that you know, people are understanding it and getting a chance to practice it a few times. So that's it. So again, she's out here, we do 2 dispels, people are max melee ranging, and people getting dispelled right into the boss. Once she teleports in the middle, both teams follow the boss, holding to their side. The 3rd dispel has pre-moved under this spot, so they can get dispelled quickly. And then we go into the intermission. This will kind of be whatever, like if we do the triangle and skull marks, that gives us more options for where the team should stack. But the intermission is piss compared to the first one. It's just both teams rotate right around the boss, picking up orbs as we go, and dodging rings. That's it. There's no DPS stop on this one. We actually want to beat the 3rd big set of casts in this one, so it's like it's a nice burn as quick as we can moment. And orbs, as long as people aren't like going wild and running the fuck out the group to dodge rings, it's a fairly simple, just keep rotating around, keep soaking the other team's orbs, just make sure we don't miss any as we move through, and try and stay as a pack. So that's it. That's P2. We're hoping we see all of that tonight, probably. It's not an unreasonable thing. Yeah, pop off. Woo!